So we're also hearing that they might potentially be getting closer to some sort of compromise. I mean, there's so many reports coming out left and right. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I sure hope they get something done quickly, because they only have until Friday, and that's when we see a partial government shutdown. The president has made it really clear that he wants wall funding. So Democrats, I mean, while the pose is recalcitrance in public, one hopes that behind closed doors, maybe, just maybe, they're inching closer to the president's needs. But it's hard to see how that happens. Chuck Schumer said this very weekend that the president is not getting a wall. And it doesn't really get more definitive than that. So I'd be interested to see what those developments are.
Well, it's not a wall anyway. It's a fence. And they've voted for 700 miles of it in the past. And now 215 miles of the same kind of double fence apparently is unacceptable, even though they could get almost anything else in return. Riddle me this one, though. Dan Henninger was just talking about the fact that, you know, what if we have a government shutdown going into Christmas? What does that mean? Because wouldn't government workers be off anyway? And then Congress would have to stay. So a shutdown means that regular people would get to go home, but Congress would have to stay there and suffer. Is that it? Because that sounds pretty good.
Well, that's true. And also, I should point out that this is a small percentage of the government. Yes, it's DHS, but most of the government is fully funded through next year. We're talking about a partial government shutdown. The real-world effect on the average American is going to be next to nothing if they notice it at all. Remember back to 2013. It's interesting. You talk about Mick Mulvaney being involved in all of this. He's the head of OMB. In 2013, he was pushing for a government shutdown because they were trying to defund Obamacare at the time, and they got one. And remember, the Obama administration made it as painful as possible for average Americans. They cordoned off national parks. They made it really obvious that a government shutdown was going on. So this year, when Democrats were blamed for the shutdown, Mick Mulvaney was head of the OMB at that time. He worked overtime to make sure that Americans didn't feel any pain from this thing. There was no roping off national parks. There was no making sure people felt the pain from it. And as a result, Democrats felt like they really lost that fight. So now Mick Mulvaney in a great position yet again to sort of manage how this shutdown will take place and whether or not people are going to feel the pain from it at all.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that was part of the calculus of putting him in there even temporarily right at this point? Because he also was really great at the time of delivering the message to people. As he stood at the podium, we'll all remember during that shutdown, he said, here's what's not happening. You know, all these parks are open, like you said.
Right.
And this time he would stand up there and say, okay, so these people aren't working, but they'll still get paid when the government goes back to work. And by the way, you know, those idiots in Congress who can't get anything done are being forced to stay here and actually work on problems and deal with this.
Yes, and you know, you look at the guy, he's kind of bespectacled and kind of slight, and you're like, oh, I don't know if he's quite a fighter. This guy is a bare-knuckle fighter when it comes to Congress. He spent 6 years there representing the great state of South Carolina, and now he's taken those skills to the White House, where, as you said, they were properly and effectively deployed in January. He has an opportunity to do it yet again, and now in this sort of elevator role, becoming as the incoming acting chief of staff. I think the president is going to have a good advocate on his side as they make the case that, you know what, this is about national security. If the blame has to fall on the White House, the president views that as responsibility and not blame.
And he's also shown in the past that, unlike the rest of Congress, he can do math. So that will be helpful in this sort of situation.
Yeah, very helpful in these fights.
Thank you.